Welcome to the Make It Make Sense series from Northwest Access Fund, where we try to make sense of complicated benefits questions. This is the Small Business Edition, where we work through questions related to owning your own business. Today, we are talking about reporting business activity for small business owners who get SSDI. The information in this video applies only to SSDI and not to SSI. This is Norman. Norman gets Social Security Disability Insurance, or SSDI. Norman owns his own business where he makes gourmet treats for pet goats. Norman already knows about calculating net earnings from self-employment, or NESE, and about the impact of NESE on SSDI. You may want to watch our videos on those topics before watching this one. Norman keeps track of his business revenue and business expenses. He knows how to calculate his NESE, and he knows how it'll impact his SSDI. He had a benefits planner to help him. You might want one of those too. Norman will need to report his business activity to Social Security. Let's see how to do that. There are two things Social Security needs to know when the business first opens: a description of the business and the projected net earnings from self-employment, or NESE. The first thing Norman needs to report is a description of his business. He just needs a few key details. There's no form or anything. This should include the name of the business, a brief description of the business structure, and any co-owners. The next thing Norman needs to report is projected net earnings from self-employment. This is an estimate of the earnings Norman expects to earn from his business. Norman will estimate this based on what he expects his business revenue and his business expenses to be. It's okay if his estimate isn't perfect. We'll talk about that in a minute. For SSDI, Social Security wants to know the monthly NESE. They need to know this to determine if Norman is using trial work period months or if his work is above the substantial gainful activity level. To learn more about work phases, check out our video on SSDI work phases. Based on his business plan, Norman estimates that his monthly NESE will be $1,200. In 2024, this is below the substantial gainful activity level of $1,550. Norman will work with his benefits planner to plan for how his NESE will impact his benefit. Norman can report his business description and projected NESE all at the same time by calling Social Security, going to the local Social Security office, or sending the information in by mail. Norman will have to do some ongoing reporting too. At the beginning of the year, he'll need to submit his business tax return, and he can expect Social Security to do a work review when he submits his first business tax return. In the work review, Social Security will use Norman's business tax return, a form called the Work Activity Report, Norman's actual monthly NESE, and the hours Norman worked in his business. Norman will also need to track and monitor his actual NESE, and if it is much different than what he projected, he should report that change to Social Security. This is especially important if Norman's NESE goes above the substantial gainful activity level. Definitely let Social Security know if that happens, Norman. Hey Norman, it's a good idea to update your business planning at the beginning of every year and let Social Security know about any changes in NESE. Thanks for watching the Make It Make Sense series, Small Business Edition.